we've been talking about dreams, and just wanted to share with you a dream that I have that's kind of funny. I think I shared this one time before, but I have a dream, and I have this picture of myself as an 80-year-old sitting in the back of a Networks Church worship service, you know, retired, not the pastor anymore, just kind of hanging out, and looking up here and seeing it's front row, your kids, weird thought, isn't it? Don't think about it too much. Your kids leading the service, up here leading the service, and you know, having new things, new music, new innovations. You know, sitting back there, you know, with my wife, kind of going, I don't know about this music. I don't know. This is a little different. But having to be so about God and so after Him, reaching generations that are yet unborn, and that's a dream that I have. And I think it's funny. You know, I'm like, turn up the hearing aid. I can't hear what they're saying. You know, I mean, I just have this picture of myself back there doing that. That's a dream that I have. But we've been talking about dreams, and just to kind of recap what we mentioned last week, is that we talked about how we're nothing without dreams. We have to have them, and that is one of the things that we have aspirations and things that we hope for. But one of the things about it is dreams are very hard to accomplish, and they're very, very difficult. But yet we have to do them. And then we also talk about God, and does God have a dream? And we say, yeah, God does have a dream. And there's really only one dream that God has, and that is to reconcile people to Himself. Is to bring His kids back into relationship with Him. And that is His dream. And the weird thing about His dream is He's worked it to where you and I have a part in that dream. We're part of that dream. And that's amazing to think that I, in some way, by what I say and do as a Christian, can help or share and bring about God's dream being fulfilled and bringing people back to Himself. And that is what Networks Church is all about. That is our mission of connecting people with God so that they can be fully devoted followers of Jesus. And that's what we're all about. And we shared last week how we're really excited because we have a brand new tool in our utility belt. And you know, think of Batman. You know, he's got the utility belt. He's got all the cool gadgets. You know, he's got the batarang. You can throw stuff out and do whatever. And I mean, there's just tons of stuff in that little belt. But we've got a new tool in our belt, and that is we're going to be moving into a new facility on December 7th. And Chad, if you go ahead and put those first pictures. I know a lot of you got to go look at the Center for God, Family, and Country, which is being built right over there. I always say by the Sled Hill. You guys know where the Sled Hill's at. It's actually right across from Gold's Gym on Commerce Drive. And here's some pictures of the building that are being built. They actually have it closed up now. They've got the doors on it, so it's locked up. So I would go over and have a look at it, see it, but you probably won't be able to get in today. This week, I believe they're going to be putting the parking lot in. That's also going to be, they're putting like this stucco stuff all around it, so it's going to look really, really nice, really sharp. But we're going to be meeting on Sunday morning, and they're starting December 7th. And we shared with you guys last week kind of the plan that we're going to do is over the next few months, we are going to just get ourselves together as a church like never before, and we'll be there December 7th, and then on January the 18th, which is like the third Sunday in January, we are going to have a grand opening and really a relaunch of the church. And so what we're going to do over the next few months is here on Sunday morning, this gathering of people is I'm going to call you guys the launch team. Okay? When this church started, we had 12 people, 12 adults, and about 10 kids that started this church. And overnight, the church grew to about 100 people. And so now we've got about 100 people, and we're just going to say, okay, God, we're going to consider ourselves a launch team, relaunch Networks, and we're going to believe God to reach a bunch of other people in our community that are not going to church right now and need to be hooked up with God in a way. And I just said, hey guys, you want to go for it? You want to do it? And everybody's like, yeah, let's go for it. Do it. I know everybody's excited, you know, and I think all the setup crew is excited that we're going to get to leave our stuff there, you know, and that's going to be really nice. And the parking lot is close. And on those winter snowy days, you know, we've got a lot of ladies that are with child right now, and I know here in the next couple months that's going to be great. You know, being able to, you know, get into the building really close. The parking lot's right there. So we're real excited about it. And so what I want you to do in the next few months is I just want you to think a little bit differently when you come on Sunday morning. And I want you to think of this is you're not coming to necessarily hear the message or hear the music, but you're coming to be active. And you're coming to be a part of a team And we're going to get it together, and we're going to go for it, and we're going to do this thing, and it's going to be great, and it's part of fulfilling God's dreams. Is anybody excited about that? Very excited? Okay. All right. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. I want to talk to you about something today that is just, I think, the very first thing we've got to do. And I'm going to challenge you guys to change your lifestyle for the next 40 days. And I'm going to be pretty, I don't know what the word is for it. I'm going to be pretty in your face and say, guys, let's do this. Let's do this thing. And I want to talk about the issue of prayer this morning. But before we get into that, this week I was meeting with Brad, our worship leader. And Brad said something to me that I thought was quotable. I thought it was very good. So I had him text it to me. And here's what Brad told me. Okay, so this is the famous wise saying of Brad right here. He said, a building will draw people. And it will. You guys are going to be surprised. When we have I've already had people asking me about the place over there. Well, I was over there the other day, and one of the construction workers was like, hey, is this your church? And I said, well, this isn't my church, but this is where my church is going to meet starting in December. I tell you, he was very interested about the church, and even opened up to ask some questions about who we were. Okay? People are seeing that thing is going on. They're wondering what it is. They're wondering what's going to happen there. And it's going to draw some people, no doubt about that. But here's what Brad said. He said, a building will draw people, but only God can draw people to himself. And that is exactly right. That is exactly scriptural. And one of the things that we've got to remember as we do this thing is you can't look at being in a new space as the silver bullet that's going to make all of our dreams come true. Okay? Because it's not. And if you're looking at it that way, you're going to be in for a disappointment. But the thing, it's a tool. It's a piece. But there's something else that we've got to talk about that's really even bigger. And if we can get that together, then we can utilize those things together, and it's going to be an awesome, awesome thing. And the first thing I want to talk to you about that we need to get on that other part is the issue of prayer. And so if you got your notes in your bulletin, as you got it, there's 3 what-if questions that I want to ask you guys about prayer. I remember when I was a kid, my brother and I used to love to ask what-if questions. What if, you built a ring all the way around the earth and had it up about a mile? Wouldn't it just float there? I mean, we think of weird stuff like that, what if Superman and Mighty Mouse, who would win if they got in a fight? What if? Just weird theoretical questions like that. We love to do that. What I want to do is I want to ask you 3 what-if questions about prayer, okay? And here's the way we're going to do this. I'm going to read a passage of Scripture where it's actually Jesus praying, okay? So this is John 17, starting in verse 20. I'm going to read this whole little piece here, and then we're going to break it down, okay? Verse 20 says, I pray for these followers, but I'm also praying for all those who will believe in me because of their teaching. Father, I pray that they can be one as you are in me and I in you. I pray that they can also be one in us. Then the world will believe that you sent me. And in verse 22, I have given these people the glory that you gave me so that they can be one, just as you and I are one. I will be in them and you will be in me so that they will be completely one. Then the world will know that you sent me and that you love them just as much as you love me. Now this is Jesus' prayer to his Father that we are looking in on. Now, to talk about the what-if questions, I want to break it down. Look at the first verse there. Verse 20. I pray for these followers. Now here's a thought right here. Jesus prayed. I don't know about you, but I think, okay, if there's anybody in the history that didn't need to pray, wouldn't it have been Jesus? Because aren't he and God the same? I mean, when we talk about the Trinity, Father, Son, Holy Spirit, we're not talking about 3 different gods. We're talking about one. And if anybody is on the same page, he's on the same page with his Father. But yet, while he was on this earth, Jesus prayed.